Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the next part of the Total War Cimmeria campaign. Here we are, Rome. We are at war with Rome and their surprisingly militarily powerful ally, Macedon. Who I would think would not be able to fund such an army as they have, where they have like 3 or 4 full stacks already ready to go for a fight. While my poor Pergamon friend here doesn't even have 10 units in an army. Though I think these guys are trying to make a second full stack of their own. Roman Perses, unfortunately, are needing to fall back to safety because they got pretty beat up in the last fight. If I fortify, can they start replenishing? I hope so. Otherwise, I'll need to fall back a little bit more. We have the army here. I would love to try and go around here to attack. However, there's 2 enemy armies here, and I'd rather have my units be closer to each other than far apart. Though I do have one problem where if I go in here, we're going to have to deal with the fact that the enemy has us poison. So I'm going to actually try and leave here and go to fortify stance and kind of see how much that helps the situation. I'm not going to invest in that settlement too much right now because I'm more concerned that it's going to basically be lost to us any moment now. So my priority is to try and keep the loyalties to us and try and just generally work to improve our settlements and our people's livelihoods, especially with the enemy so close to us. Let me see where I can upgrade, because right now, if we can keep progress going, especially in the heart of the empire, I think we'll be good to go. A lot of those settlements where I had to downgrade them or at least cancel their upgrades are now going to start improving, I'm hoping. Okay. Why do I have a Temple of Artemis here? Well, there's like, I guess there's a little bit of livestock income here, but not a lot. Well, besides the fact that we had to do this stuff here, it looks like it's about time we attack Petrodava, our first attack against the enemy, the Getae, who have declared war against us. We have done nothing to them. I have not taken their lands. I have not killed their allies. At least I don't think I've killed any of their allies. So, they've declared war on us, and we're going to show them why the mighty Cimmerian Empire, it controls so much territory. It's because we have subjugated multiple nations, all because we are mighty. We have the strongest spears, the toughest shields, and the bravest of soldiers, willing to go into any terrain to beat down the enemies of our empire. I know we're technically still called a kingdom, but we're really an empire. Dacian Falksmen. These guys are going to be the only real threat that they have in terms of being able to hurt my guys, because these guys have decent armor piercing value and they have good melee attack, but they will not survive if they're in the front line. They're more of a flanking unit, so I would say the enemy seems to be kind of misusing their Falksmen. Falksmen are basically kind of like weaker versions of my Rempo warriors. So I know what I'm talking about. Let me get this stuff ready to go. Let's see. Axe warriors, keep an eye on those flanks for me, buckaroos. Let's see, what flank looks to be the weakest, unless, see, they look to be about the same. But I would say the left side, no, the right side looks like the weakest. Honestly, about the same. Let's just say the right side, because why not? Looks like the enemy has basically 0 cavalry. That means that they're going to essentially be a non-issue in terms of flanking me. If it is that, my young horsemen are not going to get as much value in terms of them taking on enemy horses and beating them up. But they will at least have the nice advantage of they'll have at least a nice advantage of being able to rear charge the enemy without too much difficulty. Cheater. I attack, but I wonder if the enemy's going to move towards me first. We'll kind of find out, I think, either way. Hey, let's see. Definitely want to make sure the army is, as straight as possible as it goes towards the enemy there. We don't need to run. We can walk. It's okay. Alright, let me speed it up. Seeing our men here moving out, nice formation here. The enemy ended up just a simple two-line formation. This will mean that their archers will be able to start firing at us faster than ours will because they're in the front. But it does mean that they're a little bit more open. And our front line is not exactly weak to arrows. They're still men, so they can still take hits, get lucky shots on them, but they are quite well armored. I do want to be careful with my elephants, though. That's my biggest concern when it comes to the enemy archers, is that if they hit my elephants, I'd rather not lose my precious resource that are the elephants. Let's see. Looks like I might need to move my army a little bit more forward, potentially, just based on what I'm seeing here. But I'm going to let them get to this current position of theirs before I continue moving up. Just so that way they're still in a respectable formation. It takes us time for them to get ready when it really matters. I want to get them to here, so probably about there. No, not like that. There. That's good. That should be good. Oh, looks like the enemy is actually going to... No game. Do not do that to me. In position, buckaroos. In position. Yeah, they're attacking the hoplites, not the elephants. That's good. Our archer should be in a position to start firing, so yep, they're going to start firing now. Right into these falxmen, who are very, very susceptible to archer fire. The only thing that's going to assist... Yeah, look at that. Already almost cut in half that middle one already in the middle of the fight. I'm going to start charging in my elephants just in front. That was mostly for me trying to break the enemy's charge with my elephants, but it looks like that kind of didn't need to happen. Let's take them out, boys. Let's take them out. Tribesmen. I unleash the hailfire that is horsemen upon the enemy. Yeah, it looks like the enemies are pretty much wrecked at this point. Their center line's already collapsed. Their archer line is basically being chased down already with my cavalry. They're doing a pretty good job against my axemen, but they're light infantry, so they're not too susceptible to it. And hopefully this charge from my falxmen to their rear will kind of break off whatever remains of the enemy archers. Enemy units. Yep, those guys are already starting to break. And the one charge. I honestly probably killed more of my Rampole warriors than the enemy did, if I'm being entirely honest. And just one last unit of Dacian bowmen left, and then we'll be all done with this fight. There we go, all dead. Easy victory. 92, only lost 92 men, and yep, we killed 14 of our own men. Oops. No, we killed more than a tenth. We did more than a tenth of our losses to ourselves. And most of those looks like to be the axemen that I had on each flank. Not too surprising. They're not the strongest of dudes, but they do have some nice AP, which I appreciate. Elephant's got a big amount of kills there in that first initial volley. And of course, the Falcons being super weak to archers made our lives a lot easier as well. I would occupy it. I would take it over. Just conquering everything in sight. Let's see, this is not really a naval area, so I'm going to demolish that. I'm not sure what I'm going to build you into late, but I'll build you later. You, I might transform into probably a thing that'll help with public order and reduce banditry and mega foreign. So, not sure about the bonus reduction. I think I might go for the enclosed settlement, honestly, more than that, actually. Okay. Well, looks like that's everything I can really do this turn. I haven't really checked the diplomacy in a while. Let's see, Bactria. They seem to be back to reliable. Cambogia's are actually no longer at war with anybody, none of my former allies. Bactria is still at war with with Murra and Asgarta. They have not made peace with each other at all. I'm kind of surprised about that. Murra is still not happy with me, because I refuse to go to war with Bactria, and also a decent amount of cultural conversion and other stuff. Saba still doesn't like me, but that's understandable because I want to kill them. So it's kind of like training with them would be convenient, but I'm not dying for it. And of course, I could ask for peace for Rome, but I really don't want to. Same with Getae. I could just wipe out the Getae and there won't be a problem. The Iridii, however, are actually pretty small of a faction. They only have this one settlement here, I think. They actually lost their home settlement to the Dalmate. Are they actually at war with each other? I'm curious. That'd be kind of funny. No, they're not at war with each other anymore. I'm their only enemy right now. But we wipe out the Dacians, take over their mining operations in the mountains, like the Romans failed to do. I basically just kind of hold on to our territory, I think. You know, careful thing of wipe out enemy army here, wipe out enemy army there, you know, all that jazz. And then our money start building back up as we're upgrade buildings again. Now we don't have to worry about food anymore. Oh, well, we still have to worry about food. It's a constant issue, but now we can start building those buildings that we need to try and help with public order and banditry without having to worry about food as much. Anthea's starving, probably just because of the sheer amount of people there, even though it is our own territory. The best thing I can do, I think, is keep my Anthean army there next to the other army in the other province, and basically kind of reuse them to kind of support each other. There's a chance my garrison might honestly be able to arrive in time as well. So I think that'd be kind of the game plan here. Adestos I think is gonna be lost, which I'm not that against, honestly, because I kind of want this whole territory for myself. Murra, what do you think you're doing, Buckaroo? What do you think you're doing, going into my territory?
Our struggle will end badly and with little honor for anyone.
No, I'm not going to give peace for you, especially when you want me to pay you money. I can wipe you out. Look at that. I'm getting a little too uppity, I think. Hunt the pirates. Desertion in the wings of Pegasus. No surprise there, as they're starving. And apparently diseased. Anthea's been a little bit abandoned there, but that's kind of just a necessity, if I'm being honest. So we have two options. One, we can go north to Galanos. Looks like kind of like the northern edge of the Dacians, of the Getae, sorry. Or we can go straight to the heart of the settlement that we've already conquered and basically kind of wipe them out. I think this would be the first area where we have Dacians, right? And then we have Dacian down there as well, so we might as well just not build that right there. Let's build a quarry. Let's convert you into a closed settlement and upgrade you into, I think, a civil town. At this point, I'm going to take a quick step out of Petrodava and try and start fortifying for a second there. At least for now, I won't be able to rest and recover in Petrodava, but I'll at least let it convert and build up a little bit before I start purely abandoning it. I might see if I can take a step in here with these guys and let them not starve, but I don't know if that'll work. Structure complete. Agent exposed. Let's see, how's the loyalty looking over here? Still pretty bad, but I can't secure loyalty. And I can't turn into an empire because I don't have enough influence and I don't have positive loyalty on everybody. And if I transition to an empire, it will cause quite a lot of problems. So, where all parties will have minus 30 loyalty. That's not a good thing. If I went to an oligarchy, it would still reduce loyalty, but not as much. Would not be a big problem either. Basically, you know, but it would increase slave unrest, which I'm kind of surprised about. I could choose go to a political thing, and that would still reduce policy, and also it'd be a big reduction in loyalty of political parties, but also apparently huge public order penalties due to the presence of war of cultures, which is kind of a problem because I am very much kind of, you know, promoting foreign cultures in my territories. +5 tariff from trade agreements and -10 upkeep. So the kingdom, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I would kind of like to get a politia, if not for the fact that my loyalty of all the factions are so low. Looks like Macedon might be going for Ankria, which would be not the end of the world for us. Pergamon has literally a 1 stack right there, and units. They're probably going to lose Ankria. Asgarta does actually have a full stack right here, ready to try and take on the Macedons, so that's interesting. I'm going to go to fortified stance here, and the pass to hold off against the enemy. Let them not pass into this land. Looks like we are going to fully replenish about 3 turns of the Roman impersonators. So is there anything I can afford to upgrade? Apparently I can afford to upgrade Olbia. I'll take that. Oh, Susia, I can finally, I think one more turn and these guys will be exactly where I need them to be. And where basically I'll take the strongest parts of that army into the weaker army and then disband the army. Yeah, Dessos is taken by the Romans, but that's fine with me, as I think I'll take a Dessos from the Romans. Did I say it was taken from Romans? As the Romans took it from Pergamon, but I'm going to take it from the Romans. There we go. Just in case I made a mistake with the way I was talking, I clarified it for you guys. I made sure to fix it. I don't see an army of Getae yet. Murrah is in my territory just walking around, so it makes me kind of want to see what I need to do to deal with them. If Pergamon gets a Festus, I don't have a problem with it because I think at the very least they'll have territory that kind of goes together. My allies are allies to me, but they're not allies of each other, so I'm wondering how they're reacting to each other, kind of going into each other's territories now. Got a lot of hidden agents exposed, a lot of unusual conditions, warm summers. Character personality change accomplished, that's good. Inspired populace. We do have a subject that gains notoriety, which could be a problem. And he's at risk of a civil war now, so I'm going to try and secure his loyalty to fix that. Yep, looks like I removed the possibility for now. But it looks like it's going to be a constant unless I can try and... Let's see, who is it who's about to try and break off from the Taniac nobility? At the very least, try and bring them back into the fold somewhat. So it can either... A Thracian slave girl has been captured by a political opponent. Trusted member of household for many years. She knows everything about her house. Let's buy her back, I guess. She's been a loyal member of a house, then she should be protected by us. I think, honestly, buying her back, taking her back, we should have just gone into a political turmoil with those bastards instead of just giving her up. Snail pits, let's get for that. Fancy, unique item, eh? Yeah, 2 more turns and he'll be ready to go. Adessos. So this will actually be an easier battle than you might think. I'm going to besiege the settlement. I am leaving Anthea basically kind of open to being attacked, but that's not the end of the world to me. And then I'm going to go over here. And now we can take on the Roman army here. Which basically means if we choose to attack here now, I think that Roman army's gone. No. But it's okay. So I think I can chase him down, basically make it into a 1v1. And I know I win this 1v1, so let's take him out. These guys are already weakened from attacking the settlement, so no reason not to just put them down. Using the power of our mighty army. This is definitely one of our better armies, because it has basically our highest level forces that we have available right now. It has our strongest hoplites, it has our strongest axemen, at least I think those are our strongest axemen, our strongest spearmen, and our strongest archers, and has an elephant. And I don't see a large range contingent from the enemy. There's like one unit that seems to have range that's not like just javelins. So it's like, my elephants, as long as I wait a moment to put them into action, will probably quite easily, you know, do work in the battle. So, and Romans aren't famous for their use of spears. Axes! Rail spears, but you're actually my Bosporan heavy spearmen, but you use the same voice lines as the Thraeus spearmen, but it's okay, I won't hold it against you. You two over here, you two over there, and then the elephant I'm actually going to have in the back line behind where the archers are at the start, and I'll have them move into basically the battle when it starts. Alright, time to speed up. Looks like the Romans are coming to us, actually, so no reason not to just make use of that fact. Oh, looks like they actually stopped moving. I was going to say, if they're just coming right to us, who am I to let them not do that? As you can see, your strategic line. The enemy has the 1 line of swordsmen, 2 spearmen, and then 4 archers. So yeah, barely any range units and only 1 cav, which is heavily outnumbered by my own cav. Now my spearmen are ready to go. Now these axemen are pretty dang good. I think they might beat the Roman legionnaires up in the melee. Maybe not. They have better AP damage, but the enemy Romans seem to have better melee defense and attack and weapon damage. So I think my guys will probably lose in a straight fight, but we're not doing a straight 1-to-1 fight. We're doing a battle or trying to flank and destroy the enemy, not just hold the line and hope that one-on-one they'll take them on. The enemy will have the high ground, however, we do have a severe advantage in terms of missiles, so we could potentially force the enemy out into the open here without too much difficulty using our ranged units. Oh, come on, that's you game. Why would you ever think that's an okay thing to do? It's not an okay thing to do. Okay, stop. So we do need to go up more. So this will do. There we go. We were quite in range to fire back at the enemy archer, so we're being hit for free there. Our axemen here, but they have decent shields, but they're definitely not the strongest in terms of resisting archer fire. The enemy mishelp javelin, so they have javelin men. So they're in the middle of the Marian reforms right now, so they're doing good. They have crossbow infantry, which I don't know if there's AP damage set in for in Rome 2 or not. I don't remember. I think they might have like bonuses again. I don't know. Never encountered them before. But yeah, at this point we're gonna just do range do a range trade essentially. These javelin men are doing a good job of holding with their shields up. Not one of them has been. I was about to say not one of them has been killed, but now the first one died. Yeah, the crossbows are all going to be finished off, which means it looks the enemy might just attack now that they lost. They're not able to attack us anymore, but we're able to attack them. That's usually how it kind of works in my experience. Yeah, now that unit's broken, I think it's even shattered. Yeah, the enemy's now moving up into melee to melee. The enemy does have a lot more melee infantry than us, so they're going to surround us more than we're going to surround them. So we kind of just need to accept that as a fact and just start dealing with it now. Looks like the enemy general is a cav unit as well, so they have 2 units of cav, not 1, but still that's not a significant number. They're not the javelin men are out, no longer just holding, they're taking a pretty good beating. We got some Sicilian mercenary spearmen, some Syracuse and colonial levies. So that's not strong spearmen at all. Yeah, we quite in my 2 force units can easily slaughter that 1 unit of course that was sent out by itself. So how's the enemy going to reform their lines with this situation? Their javelin men are getting quite beat up now. Not really doing too much of a dent into our hoplite lines. However, the only one thing that this does mean is that our archers won't be hitting too many of the enemy's actual meaty troops, so there is at least that advantage for them, as these javelins do take a while to die. But thankfully our horsemen are also archers, so they're able to get some work done while we're waiting for the situation to evolve. Cohorts Prima, so getting these guys weakened would be quite nice, and they look very cool. That's one reason why I want to play as Rome again in Divide and Parapus. Their units just look so nice. But my units don't look too bad either. But you can definitely tell why this game is called Rome Total War, not Cimmeria Total War. It looks like we did just destroy one of the enemy spear units. Alright, well, if the enemy is content to let us just shoot arrows into their behinds, then I'm not going to stop them. Any advantage is a good advantage to me. I don't know what they're doing with these guys here. They're kind of just running them around now. Maybe they ran out of ammo and they're like, maybe we should charge them, and then error of their ways. But yeah, we're almost now out of arrow fire, so hopefully what we have left, it does some good work. Charge them, boys! Get at least a little bit of a charge bonus in. It looks like one unit's already going to break because it got hit pretty hard already by archer fire. This next one though is a pretty tough beast, so that's why I'm happily rear charging it right now. core horse Prima has not yet done a significant amount of damage. Oh, run away, you guys. You guys got caught out. These guys took a bit of a beating because I left them in the fight too long. Yeah, these guys are doing a good job. They're holding this line here, which is allowing me to essentially keep rear charging the Corps Prima for a lot longer than I was originally going to be able to. It means that the Chorus Prima will win in the end, but not by as much as they would like. And now I'm getting access to their back line now with my Cav advantage. There we go. I'm going to move up my hoplites now to try and get a better advantage with where they are. Run! Fall back, fall back, fall back. Oh no, 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 no. Unit of Legionnaire is going to be a big problem there. Alright, let me send these guys into the fight. About this way. Yep, they got them. Into their behinds, please. Thank you. Surround them, boys. Make use of the fact that you're mighty archers. And they're not horrible units to have in a melee fight, but they're definitely not Roman strong, if that makes sense. Alright, let's come on, boys. That was a good rear charge. Let's get them out of that fight now. Looks like we broke that Corps Prima with that rear charge from the skeletons, and I mean not the skeletons, the archers. And the fact that they've been so weakened by fighting my axemen and being rear charged consistently by my cavalry that they're kind of like in a bad situation. These legionnaires should go down pretty fast. So with that guy now, this is being squished by our lines. Get these guys in this fight here now. We've caught the enemy general, which is good because we can start putting you guys here. Come on. Yeah, let's start getting the elephants into the middle of this big brawl. We've definitely won this battle at this point. The enemy is not really in a position to give us much of a fight at this point. Best they can do is to try and die with honor. And the Romans are starting to break due to army losses. We don't want them to just get away. So we need to try and basically kill as many of the Romans before they get away as possible. Because when we take the settlement, we don't want to fight a whole nother Roman army, you know? We want to take them out. I think that's basically all the ones that I can see that we can kill left, yeah. Just the ones that were in the fight that held out the longest would be the easiest ones to clean up. There we go, I think that's all of them. Alright. Or at least all the ones that matter, if nothing else. So we have officially wiped the floor with this Roman army, removed it as a threat. It only had like 200, 300 men about a little over 300 men who actually escaped the battle. And we only killed 4 of our own men, so that's an achievement there. Our axemen there on the left flank got 295 kills. That's pretty impressive. The one on the right flank still got a decent amount of kills considering how abused it got. And our archers, nice. Spearmen, nice. Elephants, nice. And horsemen, nice. All around, love to see it. Enemy army retreats. We have destroyed the Romans. That now just leaves the Dessos open and available for us to just destroy it. But we're going to do that next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked the video, slap that like button down below. Subscribe to see more of my content. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.